Hey guys, what's going on? This is my official review of the Samsung Galaxy S3. I've had it for about a week now, and I've decided to actually put this case on here, and I'll actually kind of give you my thoughts of the case. There is an InvisiShield IntelliScreen, or InvisiShield, excuse me, on the actual glass face of the phone. But let's go ahead and cover the case first, mainly because this case is not it is an aftermarket case because it doesn't come with the phone, but it is made by Samsung for the Galaxy S3, as you can see by the logo. So let's flip it over. It looks just like your natural Samsung Galaxy S3 case that would come with the back. You know, this one matches the blue, and you got your little headphone jack up here. Also, we got your micro USB down here with a microphone port. See if we can get a good angle. There you go, micro USB. But back to the case, it hinges back here. So it hinges back here, and that's what allows for this top flap. The top flap on the inside of it, it's got kind of like this felt feel, okay? Felt, and it's okay. And then it just goes over the top. Nothing special. Now, it does not turn the phone on or off like you would think like the Apple Smart Case does for the or the smart cover for the iPad or iPad 2 or 3, whatever you want to call it. It does not have a magnetic field. So if you do decide to use this to turn off your phone, that's not really going to work for you. All right, so on to the actual phone. So I've had an iPhone for probably about the last 5 years. All variants of the iPhone, from the original one all the way up to the 4S. I know, it's kind of freaky. But something happened to my 4S, got a little bit of water damage because I got a aftermarket life-proof case that didn't really hold up. Anyway, so I decided to switch. I wanted to switch to a good phone, and I went to the Android realm and went to Samsung. First thing I want to say is this phone is very big. It's large. I have large hands. I'm about 6'6", 230 pounds. I have large hands. And for the average user that I would, kind of imagine what their hands are like, this phone is going to be pretty big. But the screen looks great. So let's see. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Now, the stuff that you're going to see here for the screen, I do have some aftermarket apps going on. Let's see if I actually move this phone into. Let's see if I can move it so you can get that glare off of there. Yeah. So I do have some aftermarket apps going on for the phone. I didn't like the Samsung Touch interface, so I did change it a little bit. I've had this phone for about a week, so I did change some stuff. So now you can see that I do have my InvisiShield on there, and that's mainly because I wanted to protect the screen. Then you can always just use a cloth like this and wipe it off, or whatever you really want to do. But whatever, this phone's gonna get dirty. It's gonna get touched because it's a really beautiful phone. So let's turn it on, and there we go. So I got my live background here in the back, which is the Dallas Cowboys background, and then I got my 4 home screens. This is the home screen for the screen went out. Making a phone call, text messaging, S-Memo, it's kind of like a notepad, and then your camera. So you can launch any of these by touching them and swiping up, and it'll instantly go to that application. Hit your back arrow, and it'll go to your last opened app. So then again, let's go to my S-Memo. Alright, so it did open S-Memo, and as you see here on the screen, it's got this little tutorial. These tutorials pop up variously unless you hit the button, the check button right there that says do not show this again. But these tutorials show up, and if you're new to a Samsung phone or even an Android phone, they're really good. They're helpful, and they can tell you. Some of them you would think would be kind of common sense if you're a smartphone user, but this one, it does help out. So let's go. Do not show this one again. Actually, we'll show it again in case I need to show some friends. But that's how you launch those icons directly from your home screen. So now, into my home screen, let's unlock this here. I've moved some widgets around, I've moved some stuff around, but it's very good. The thing I really like the most is the quick toggles from the drop-down menu. So I can turn this stuff on or off for my Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS. Let's put some sound on here, and then turn the Wi-Fi off, whatever. Turn it back on. Okay, so you can scroll through this stuff here. No big deal. It's got an airplane mode, sync mode if you go to the Keys network for Samsung. Then it kind of tells you everything here. So it kind of tells you Wi-Fi disconnected to my network, hope. The data is off because I am connected to Wi-Fi. And that's an app right there. This little logo, the shield, is probably the best app. I would say it's a must-have app for the phone. And the reason I would say that is because the first couple days I used this phone. Now granted, I will give the benefit of the doubt that I was using it a lot, trying to figure it out. But I was draining the battery probably by 11 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm talking like the battery's at 20%. So then I looked up online and I downloaded Juice Defender. And Juice Defender just happens to tweak the phone and the settings and what stays on or off throughout the day. And it worked out real well. So I really like Juice Defender. I would recommend it if you have it. So one of the main reasons I did change my touch interface, if you look here a little closely, you watch the Dallas Cowboys helmet logo, it rotates. Well, when the Samsung has their built-in touch sense user interface in here, you can have a live background, but it won't rotate. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna actually have a background that rotates or that can rotate, as this one can, coming from an iPhone, that's what I'm gonna want to do. So I changed the interface. It doesn't really change the feel of the phone so much, and the phone still functions completely fine. But yeah, so the phone. Let's go back to the hardware of the phone. The phone really does feel light, real light in your hand. It's small. It's larger than the iPhone. With the iPhone being smaller, this phone actually feels lightweight, and it's got a curved design. See if we can pull that out. Can I see it? So you got this curved design right here, and it feels really good. I had a friend Samsung Galaxy S2 before, which I did not have as my own personal phone, and that was kind of blocky around the edges from what I felt. This one just kind of feels naturally plumb or flush to your hand. Back here in the back, you have an 8 megapixel camera, LED flash, and your speakerphone. The speakerphone can be good. It actually really is good. Let's see if we can start up a video. So that was a little YouTube widget that I have here. I'll turn the volume up. Oop. Turn the volume up. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to let the video play. See if my internet... Alright. So it looks great. Fills up the whole screen, but the sound can get a little larger if you cup your hand like this.
Technology called USB on the go or USB OTG.
So if you cup your hand like this, or I would remove it, but I don't know if this is going to start back up. Come on, Sharon Backman. Come on, Sharon Backman and my crappy internet speed.
Tablet into a USB hose.
So there's a sound.
Connect standard USB
remove your hand from the back.
Like flash drives, hard drives.
And as you can tell, just normal sound. You kind of cup it and it goes around.
By now I'm sure you're wondering how the heck you're...
Thank you, Sharon. So this is my initial review from the for the Samsung Galaxy S3. If you had an iPhone or if you had a smaller phone before that, it might be somewhat difficult for you to hold into your hand. But if you can actually manage to hold this thing in your hand, it's not nearly as big as the Note, as the Samsung Note, but it does feel really great. It feels really lightweight. And after about a week or so, I don't feel that this phone feels lightweight. I feel that other phones feel heavy because you get used to the weight. As far as call quality, which it looks like I'm calling my voicemail. I don't need to. As far as call quality, it does work out real well. And then there are a bunch of secret stuff, that you can do with this phone without rooting it, that Samsung doesn't really let you know. For instance, let's go into the messaging app. And let's see this person right here. So this person, it says no subject for their message. But if I swipe from the right to the left, oh, kind of just did it for me. If I swipe from the right to the left, it'll message them. If I swipe from the left to the right, it'll call them. See that? Let's see if my finger's in the way. So right to left will message, left to right. Left to right will call. So there's little things like that. But overall, I do love the phone. I will keep the phone, regardless of whether the fact that my iPhone 4 is no longer working. But I will keep the phone. It works really well. The S voice that is on it, not so hot. Needs a lot of refinement. This is running Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0.1, but the phone does work really well. Now, one of the main complaints I do have about this phone is it's a magnet for fingerprints, real bad. Like any other phone, like no other phone I've ever seen, I should say. Another complaint about this phone is it doesn't pick up Wi-Fi signals as best as it could. So if you were to compare it to the iPhone or maybe even a laptop or something small, such as a portable device, trying to pick up Wi-Fi, it's not going to pick it up too well. If you can, let's see if we can zoom in here. So my Wi-Fi is zoomed in too far. So as you can tell right there, my Wi-Fi is full bars. That's because the router is literally right behind over there. The second I go out of this room, or I go even into the living room, which is just a couple feet beyond this wall, which is nothing more than drywall, the signal drops down to very little to almost nothing. So this is my initial review of the Samsung Galaxy S3. I do like the phone. The 3.5mm jack for the headphone jack is up here. It does have a removable battery. Let's see if I can zoom out on this. Pull this back off. This is actually kind of hard to pull the back off with the. There we go. All right, so there's your removable battery, your micro SD card, or actually this is your micro SD card. Sorry, this is your SIM card. But yeah, works out pretty well. I do like the phone, and I do think it's a very solid product, to say the least. Now, there are a couple other videos that I will do on the phone. This is just my initial review. I've been meaning to get this out for a while, mainly because I wanted to do it so other people that I know can follow the videos. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys got a good feel and touch for this phone, and I will see you later. Peace.